Hi, welcome to Pinoy Swiss Abroad. If you're new to my channel, please try to watch in full before subscribing. Thank you. This is the TSS Earnslaw Steamship that is more than 100 years old and that I featured from my previous video. Please check it out. The main engines are twin coal-fired triple expansion jet condensing steam engines that produce 500 horsepower. And you can see the coal down there. Please check my previous video about this TSS Earnslaw cruise ship. This is a steamship, the only commercial steamship that is still operating up to today. Now here we are cruising leisurely to go to this final destination, which is the Walter Peak Farm Tour. Yes, we will tour you around here, so please hang on and wait for it. According to Wikipedia, Walter Peak is a mountain located near Queenstown. It has a height of 1,800 meters. It is regularly visited by the TSS Earnslaw Steamship, which takes passengers to the base of the mountain to visit the Walter Peak High Country Farm. There you go. And just to let you know, Queenstown is COVID-free in the community. Now we're here. So please come and join us and we'll tour you around. Please listen so you will learn more.
Eagle's usually the first one down, but I think after having these babies, these girls are a little bit, he's obviously a wee bit scared of them, a wee bit standoffish, which is fair enough. But yes, if you want to feed them, just step up with a nice split hand, she'll take them away, and then just to avoid those horns, you can have a little scratch, but then just step back again. But you are more than welcome, take heaps of photos, babies are incredibly cute. Oh, yeah, watch those horns. Sorry. The Dougal eats a wee bit differently, and I'll show you why. He sticks his tongue right out, and he's going to put your hand right in there. But he can't hurt you. He doesn't have top teeth, so he can't actually hurt you. And we've got a hand washing station at the end, so you can wash all the goobers off. But it's like on a nice rainy day, but it's a bit warm in there. Yeah. Could you do that again? Yeah. But he's lovely. He's just a big sock. He looks like the scariest one on the farm, but he's honestly the most sweetest bull.
You've got a bit of a red eye. Or is it just like...
Yeah, so just cows just normally have that, just so that you can just see, instead of being quite white, it's just an animal thing, they're not always purely white. Yeah.
He's rubbing his eyes.
Yeah, he loves to rub everywhere. He's actually broken a few fences because he's just so heavy that he just pushes them over. Yeah.
I might skip this one.
Yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough.
Aren't they amazing creature?
So those five they're not used for meat, they're used for fibre.
Here comes Bambi.
And so it's utilised quite a lot in textiles and rugs and jackets, and it's so warm and so insulating. So a kg of sheepwool at the moment is $100. A kg of cashmere fibre is $150. So you can see if there's a big difference down there. Yeah, feel free to feed them. They are a lot less goobery. You'll see the wee deer. His name is Alfie. and he's a wee fallow deer. So he was bottle red and given to us as a pet. He loves it here, but he was castrated, and for that reason his antlers were growing. Yeah.
This goat is always hungry and is a bully. See that?
It is quite hippie country, but I honestly haven't seen hippie country. But I feel like it's one of those places that wait. Yeah, so I think yeah. They'll grow, as you see the antlers. Whereas, you know, your cows, they'll grow one set in their lifetime, but deer will grow one set every year. So it is a common misconception that because this has 7 points, it was a 7-year-old animal, but that's not actually true. So how many points every antler has and how big it is purely the genetics of the animal and how much feed they got when they were younger. So even if they have really good genetics, if they don't get enough food, they can't grow into a big animal, big enough to carry the big antlers, so they don't grow that big. But these are, so these on the antlers, on the stags are predominantly used as a weapon. So what happens, during mating season, the stags will fight over the ladies, of course, and whoever wins gets to mate with the females and reproduce. So it's quite important, you know, the bigger animals generally win the fights because, you know, bigger antlers have got more power behind them. But a set of these antlers can weigh up to 20 kg, so you can imagine kind of lug those down on your head. You'd have to have a really strong neck to fight with them. Yeah, it's quite cool, but otherwise, what's that? So what happens is they sort of just grow from the coronet on the head, and they'll just grow big enough. Then this becomes quite loose when it sort of comes from the shed, and it will just fall off. And you can see that these have fallen off naturally, because if we'd cut them, that will be flat and flush. But these just grow away, and then they'll just shed off. But when they start growing again, they're quite small. They're covered in a really soft film called velvet. And so people that farm red stags, they usually are utilising this velvet because it's been utilised in arthritis medicine, which is quite cool, and it's worth a lot of money. So I knew a farmer, and he had one stag that grew really big velvet, and it was worth $15,000. So if you've got 60, 70 stags, you're making a pretty good profit every year. But when this, if they get too big, that velvet all shreds away and sort of falls off, and you end up with this hard bone-like substance underneath that the deer will fight with. But what happens is, because the red deer and the fallow deer, they are very, very territorial, and they will actually turn on their young. So before the young are born, that's why these antlers are shed, and we think it's an evolutionary thing. So it gives the young ones a chance to get going again. So by the time the male, the bigger deer grow these back, the young ones are big enough to run away or maybe fight back, probably not. But so it just gives the young ones a chance to grow up and sort of keep the breed alive. But pass it around, you can feel how cute.
I hope you learned something so far. This farm has its own charm, and it's a rugged beauty. Beautiful view, isn't it?
She has time to stay away, but so these guys, they differentiate from the llama because they're a bit smaller and they were bred for aggression. So llamas are bigger and sort of used for carrying things and carting things, and the llama's hairline stops in between the ears, but with an alpaca they've got a wee sort of mop fringe on them, so that's a really easy way to tell the difference. So these guys are they're like the sassy girls of the farm, a wee bit. Sometimes they'll be right over the end, sometimes they'll come up. Just sassy, just for no reason. Just ridiculous. But you'll see, these guys are actually due to be short, so they've got quite a big woolly coat on them. But it's not actually wool, it's fibre. And it's different from wool.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Just to let you know that our group chose a farmyard tour and see sheepdog demonstrations. Traditional afternoon tea is included and served at the historic Colonel Homestead. The others can choose a lunch barbecue, or if it's in the late afternoon, it's a dinner gourmet barbecue. Are you familiar with the Shaun the Sheep animation? Marami po dito. Kung nanonood po kayo kasama ng inyong mga anak, mga toddler nyo, you will know what I'm talking about. Shaun the Sheep. Beautiful surrounding and the birds cheerfully chirping. Can you imagine living here? These are old traditional houses, and one of these houses we go for an afternoon tea. So please wait for the next vlog. Please check Eat Avenue for all the foods that we have enjoyed so far for all our trips. And please check all our social media accounts and subscribe. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell button. Maraming salamat po sa mga umabot sa dulo.